Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwadner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have a sales leadership forum with 4 panelists, and the topic is how to explore solutions for the coronavirus crisis. First, I'd like to introduce Andrew Ching. He is Professor Business Economics and Public Health with the Johns Hopkins University. Then we have Joël Lebon, and he is Professor Sales and Marketing with the Johns Hopkins University. Then we have Mary Delaney. She's president with CareerBuilder for software solutions. And we have Chris Beall, CEO of ConnectAndSell. Now, let's jump right in and let's start with Professor Ching. Can you explain the economic situation as a result of the coronavirus?
So the experiences that we see in US right now, it's unfortunately actually look very similar to what happened in Wuhan. The officials didn't take this virus seriously enough, and there are a lot of people, already spreading in the community, and they didn't really, take it seriously. And US make a decision very quick when this outbreak becomes official, and they stop people traveling from China to US, which buys a lot of time. By a lot of time, I mean like 1 to 2 months. And if US had made use of that time to make preparations, I think we will be in a much better shape today. I'm actually quite worried that the spread will keep going up for a bit longer before we see when things start showing sign that the social distancing, all these things that we're doing will have an effect. And so I think the immediate impact on the health crisis is that the hospitals and all these healthcare workers, they don't have enough protective gears. They are exposed a lot to this. And then what happens next is then you don't have the healthcare workers to take care of people who are sick. So then that has this rippling effect. Before we started this event, we were talking about ventilators. I think that's very good things that if we can really get more ventilators to the hospital, I think that would be wonderful. And I think another things, very simple things like protective gear, like masks, gloves, things like that. I think we really need that.
Was there an economic sort of innovation period that as a result of the crisis?
It's lucky that it happened at this time when we have the technology available. We can still carry on a lot of businesses by doing this type of virtual, conferences, and by still giving classes using technology remotely. Students can still learn remotely, still interacting with us, still see our faces. And I think, what we should expect is that this is not just a one-time thing. I think it's not unforeseeable that, maybe we can just sit home, wear this virtual reality device, and then we can still see, we can still experience a concert. We can still experience a sport event and maybe see people around us, just like, those online games. Exactly. And I think there will be a lot more investment that happens in this kind of technology. So how can we invent better technology, better, virtual reality technology so that a salespersons or companies can just sit back and still interact with customers?
So Joël, can you share with us what companies need to do in their sales organization to pivot and focus on winnable opportunities and change the mindset of the sales organization?
Marketing and sales teams should take the leading role in supporting the organization's response because they are the face of the organization within the market and with the customers. So what is the job of a sales leader? Well, the job of a sales leader is really to hire, train, develop, and drive aligned salespeople, which is one of the most difficult jobs when customers have challenge. Because we have right now large-scale quarantines, travel restrictions, social distancing, and customers who are also thinking about cutting that budget. But how do we react? And I think the mindset is critical as a way to react with the right mindset. And I call that the adaptive flexible leadership versus the reactive leadership. We have to be flexible And it's very important to be flexible. We know there are two types of mindset. There is the fixed mindset, where you focus actually on what you know. And there is the growth mindset, where you focus on what you don't know. But because of what you don't know, you are interested into what you have to learn. But there's also another very important type of mindset, which is called the outward mindset versus inward mindset. And the outward mindset is really about others. It's about being more collaborative. It's about being more interested in others. And this is what is going to happen right now in sales, but we have to adapt. So I see three different dimensions of adaptation here that we have to think about. But thinking about leading and training salespeople, we have to do it with more flexibility. We have to accept, and this has been a discussion in sales, that sales technology is a critical supplement. In fact, technology might save sales relationships right now.
What we're seeing, I think there's a few things on the career side. One is there are areas that are growing right now. There are companies that are in a great area of need for people. Medical, clinical, supervisors, RNs, everyone is growing in the medical field. Long haul trucking, it just shot up overnight. Warehousing, construction, both engineers and the workers. Sanitation and cleaning has risen overnight as well. So those would be areas that you could go back to and work with clients to help partner with them to bring on more people. At the same time, governments around the world are trying to help companies who are looking, they're maybe more closer to the negative impact of this COVID-19. And so they're looking at how do we maintain our cash. The third area is how do I manage my team now remotely? And you've got all different types of folks. We've got our younger generations who love the socialization and need that community. You've got kind of our middle generations who are trying to figure out how to find workspace when they also have 2 or 3 or 4 kids at home trying to do their schoolwork. As we already heard, there's flexibility that we need to give our employees, but they also need motivation, and they need sales to become a science more than an art right now. Things like our sales teams are having 2 meetings a day minimum. There's a meeting in the morning and there's a meeting in the evening. Our sales leaders are coming together as teams and sharing best practices daily. Our entire leadership team around the globe is coming together twice a week. And we're sharing successes, and we're talking about challenges, and we're also doing, you know, silly things like a puzzle or a riddle, and just how do you build community from afar? So finding a way to do that with your team is really critical right now. Finally, I will say partnering with your customers is going to be important. So I would have your people focus on outreach to the clients and seeing how you can help them. And then, you know, having these calls with your team in a very organized, thoughtful fashion that continues to celebrate success and remove obstacles will be critical.
We have one of our customers that sells medical devices directly into hospitals, sales team of 34 people, and suddenly one day, boom, the 34 field reps can't go into hospitals and are effectively idled at that point. And they asked us whether we could immediately get those people to be able to reach out and talk to the folks in hospitals and use ConnectAndSell as kind of a magical way of having lots more conversations. And that came online in a day, and pretty spectacular success. And we've been at ConnectAndSell, we've been a virtual work from home company forever. And we found huge benefits from having to be more scientific, less kind of, just winging it, and to have the visibility and control that we're required to get using technology. So we use, for instance, we used Chorus and Exec Vision in order to record the conversations that our people are having. And we have a full-time coach whose job is to look at the numbers, not the final numbers, not those trailing indicators that Dr. LeBon was talking about, but at the leading indicators, which is what really happened in those conversations. So is somebody getting shut down a lot on busy callbacks, or are they giving up and going for interested send information? The coach will actually intervene very, very quickly, remotely, and find out what's going on, get on with that person one-on-one on Zoom, listen to some of their conversations, and make some adjustments. And so we're finding that it's actually easier to manage a remote sales team working from home with visibility, control, precision, productivity than it is to manage them when they're in the office. Because frankly, we're kind of lackadaisical as managers in the office. We wander around and we think we've done a great job, but we're also making a lot of reports. We're having a lot of meetings that might not be specific to making sales happen. And we're finding with remote teams, it's a sharper business. It's a little more hard edge, so to speak. And I looked at our numbers this morning. So more than 90% of our customers have gone 100% work from home. And it's not visible at all in their results in a negative way. It's slightly easier to get a hold of people now. This is counter to what everybody says, but our numbers show that it's slightly easier to get people on the phone now. It's much easier to open a conversation. We just think there's that the human touch is needed, and being able to provide that at pace and scale when people are working from home, when management can still say, hey, I can see what's going on, I can help. And we can try some stuff, because it's easier to try things, oddly enough, when people are not all physically together watching each other. They're less shy. I agree with everybody so far. There's going to be a ton of innovation coming out of this crisis. And a lot of that innovation is going to be in sales, driven by work from home.
This is not a time of crisis, really. This is the pre-expansion phase that we are in economically. And I think we should not create a sales plan. We should create a victory plan. And I want to thank everybody. My word is namaste. Be safe and help other people in need. Thank you so much.